Hi, kids. Welcome to Once Upon a Truth. I got to thinking, parents, this would be a good thing to do if you just played these stories while they are laying down and fixing to go to bed or something, or maybe just sit around the table and have a snack just so they can concentrate. But I wished I would have done this with my kids when they were little. So, kids, if you're watching, I apologize. We're going to go to the story of Gideon today in the Old Testament. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian for 7 years. And this was a pattern back then. The children of Israel would mess up, and then they'd cry out, and then God would rescue them. He'd send somebody to help them, and that pattern just kept going. So the hand of Midian prevailed against Israel, and because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them dens which are in the mountains and caves and strongholds. And so it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them. And they encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth till they'll come unto Gaza. And today we know Gaza's in the news all the time. And left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep nor ox nor ass. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number, and they entered into the land to destroy it. And Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites, that the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, which said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt, and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. And I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But ye have not obeyed my voice. That's what brought the trouble the first time. And it brings trouble every time we don't obey him too. And there came an angel of the Lord, and sat under an oak which was in Ophrah, and that pertained unto Joash the Abiezrite. And his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress, to hide it from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him, and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. I can just see Gideon hiding behind a rock or something and threshing wheat to try to save something for his people. And the angel calls to him and says, Thou mighty man of valor. And Gideon said to him, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles which our father told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up out from Egypt? But now the Lord has forsaken us, and delivered us into the hand of the Midianites. And the Lord looked upon him and said, Go in this might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have not I sent thee? And he said unto him, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? He starts making excuses like we are all known to do. Wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I'm the least in my father's house. And the Lord said to him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midians as one man. And he said to him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, then show me a sign that thou talkest with me. He still can't believe he's talking to him. Depart not hence. This is Gideon talking to an angel. Depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before me. And the angel, he said, I will tarry until thou come again. And Gideon went and made ready a kid and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in a basket, he put the broth in a pot, and brought it unto him under the oak, and presented it. And the angel of God said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put forth the end of his staff that was in his hand, and touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and there rose up fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. And when Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Lord, Gideon said, Alas, O Lord God, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. And the Lord said unto him, Peace be unto thee, fear not, thou shalt not die. That's good news for Gideon. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Ezrites. That's a hard word for Miss Nancy to say, Ezrites, I guess. And it came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal. Now Baal was a false god that thy father hath. So not only is he a false god that our gods want him to tear down, it's his father's false god. And cut down the grove that is by it, and build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock, in the ordered place. And take the second bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove which thou shalt cut down. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants, and did as the Lord said unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by day, that he did it by night. And when the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it. And the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. And they said one to another, Who hath done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, The Gideon, the son of Joash, had done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, now this is Gideon's father, Bring out thy son, that he may die. Why? Because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. And Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will ye plead for Baal? He said, Why are you going to plead for him? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death whilst it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself. I love that Gideon's dad said if. I think he's seen some things, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore on that day he called him Jerubbaal. He changed his son Gideon's name to Jerubbaal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. If he was a god, he should have been able to take care of one man. Then all the Midianites and Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together, and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezer was gathered after him, and he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also was gathered after him, and he sent messengers into Asher, and into Zebulun, and to Naphtali, and they came up to meet him. And Gideon said unto God, If thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor, and if the dew be on the fleece only. And so Gideon is trying God instead of the other way around. And if it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by my hand, as thou hast said. And it was so, for he rose up early on the morrow, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. And Gideon said unto God, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee. He's proven God, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. And God did so that night, for it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground. Then Jerubbaal, who is Gideon, and all the people that were with him rose up early, and pitched beside the well of Harod, so that the host of the Midianites were on the north side of them, by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands. lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, Mine own hand hath saved us. Now therefore go to, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, Whosoever is fearful and afraid, let him return and depart early from Mount Gilead. And guess what, guys? There returned of the people 22,000, and there remained 10,000. And the Lord said unto Gideon, The people are yet too many. Bring them down into water, and I will try them for thee there. And it shall be, of whom I say unto thee, This shall go with thee, the same shall go with thee. And of whomsoever I say unto thee, This shall not go with thee, the same shall not go. So he brought down the people into the water, and the Lord said unto Gideon, Every one that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lappeth, him shalt thou set by himself. Likewise, every one that boweth down upon his knees to drink. Miss Nancy's New Bible. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men, but all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink water. And the Lord said to Gideon, By these 300 men that lapped will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place. So the people took victuals in their hand, and their trumpets, and he set all the rest of Israel, every man unto his tent, and retained those 300 men. And the host of Midian was beneath him in a valley. And it came to pass that the same night that the Lord said unto him, Arise, get thee down into the host, for I had delivered it into thine hand. But if thou fear to go down, go thou with Purah, thy servant, down to the host. So Miss Nancy's going to cut it a little bit short by saying, okay, so Gideon was afraid. Remember, they're like grasshoppers, and they cover the whole ground, the Midianites. And it goes on to say, as the sand by the seaside. So he said, if you're afraid, take Purah with you, your servant, and go down. And so they got down there, and when they did, he heard one of the fellows there say, Behold, I dreamed a dream, and lo, a cake of barley bread tumbled into the host of Midian, and came into the tent, and smote it that it fell, and overturned it, that the tent lay along. And his fellow answered and said, This is nothing else save the sword of the Gideon the son of Joash, a man of Israel. For into his hand hath God delivered Midian and all the host. And so it was, Gideon heard the telling of that dream, and he knew that God had gave him the victory. So he goes and he gets his men, and here's the end of this story. He divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and put a trumpet in every man's hand, with an empty pitcher and lamps within the pitchers. And he said to them, Look on me, and do likewise. And behold, when I come to the outside of the camp, it shall be that as I do, so shall ye do. When I blow with the trumpet, dun, 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 I and all that are with me, then blow ye the trumpets also on all sides of the camp, and say, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. I love that he put that in there. So Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came to the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch, and they had but newly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets, and they brake the pitchers that were in their hand, and the 3 companies blew the trumpets, and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hand, and the trumpets in the right hand, to blow. And they cried, The sword of the Lord and of Gideon. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp, and all the host ran and cried and fled. And so this was a wonderful, triumphant thing that the Lord used Gideon to do. I'm going to read you just a little bit farther. And the 300 blew the trumpets, and the Lord set every man's sword against his fellow, even throughout all the host. And the host fled to Bethshittah in Zererath, and to the border of Abel Meholah, and to Tabith. And the men of Israel gathered themselves together out of Naphtali, out of Asher, and out of Manasseh, and pursued after the Midianites. So they got a great victory. And kids, I just want you to know, just like with David and Goliath, with Joshua, everybody has a start. And it's not just these great stories that happens. It's from the beginning. They were lads and God was raising them up. He's raising you up to do something, and it could be something amazing. Now, Miss Nancy just wants to take a second to say, might not get to do a YouTube next week because we're supposed to be getting some severe weather. So if we're not on next Tuesday, forgive me, but we'll come back if the Lord tarries. You guys, it's great to have you with me. Thank you.